Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are picking up our reading today in chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, and this is under oneness, and it's on page 41 in Ken Wapnick's Journey Through the Text of A Course in Miracles. Okay, we will pick up our reading here. Okay. Here is the first statement of this crucial theme, which we read yesterday, based upon the Golden Rule. You respond to what you perceive, and as you perceive, so shall you behave. The Golden Rule asks you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This means the perception of both must be accurate. The Golden Rule is the rule for appropriate behavior. You cannot behave appropriately unless you perceive correctly. Since you and your neighbor are equal members of one family, as you perceive both, so you will do both. You should look out from the perception of your own holiness to the holiness of others. Miracles arise from a mind that is ready for them. By being united, this mind goes out to everyone, even without the awareness of the miracle worker himself. The impersonal nature of miracles is because the atonement itself is one, uniting all creations with their Creator. Attaining this perception of others, later termed true perception or vision, is the goal of A Course in Miracles. Jesus is asking us right at the beginning to substitute his way of looking for the egos. He teaches us, as the early workbook lessons also emphasize, not to exclude anyone from the healing and forgiving power of the miracle. Any judgment of another reinforces our judgment of ourselves as sinners who deserve to be punished. We and the entire sonship of God deserve much better than that. The miracle is Jesus' means of teaching us that our thoughts of separation have no effect on the healing oneness of the atonement. Even when we are not aware of its healing beneficence, the atonement extends through our right minds, also called miracle-mindedness, to embrace the sonship as one God, one Son, one Creator, one creation. What follows is an assertion of the oneness of the sonship and the right-minded understanding of the word special, which midway through the text becomes the centerpiece of Jesus' presentation of the ego's thought system. What makes us special here is not the unique abilities that make us attractive to others, but the fact that we are all, as one Son, children of one Father. Once again, if we deny God's gift of love to anyone, we deny it to everyone, including ourselves. Either all of us are God's children or none of us is. And this is section 5.3. When the atonement has been completed, all talents will be shared by all the sons of God. God is not partial. All his children have his total love, and all his gifts are freely given to everyone alike. Except ye become as little children means that unless you fully recognize your complete dependence on God, you cannot know the real power of the Son in his true relationship with the Father. The specialness of God's sons does not stem from exclusion, but from inclusion. All my brothers are special. If they believe they are deprived of anything, their perception becomes distorted. When this occurs, the whole family of God, or the sonship, is impaired in its relationships. The usage of special in this passage denies its usual meaning, which always connotes differentiation and judgment. God's love embraces all his children as one, because they are one. Not one son can be lost without the entire sonship losing. The atonement restores the inclusion of heaven to our awareness, replacing the ego's reign of exclusion that began with its insane belief it had excluded God. Thus does the ego, which placed its God on the throne of heaven, seek to mock God by having him subscribe to the ego's thought system of separation, sin, guilt, and punishment, as we see portrayed in the biblical God of both testaments. Yet the true God thinks otherwise, for he knows his Son only as himself, whole and holy, to which the miracle points. Ultimately, every member of the family of God must return. The miracle calls him to return because it blesses and honors him, even though he may be absent in spirit. God is not mocked is not a warning, but a reassurance. God would be mocked if any of his creations lacked holiness. The creation is whole, and the mark of wholeness is holiness. Miracles are affirmations of sonship, which is a state of completion and abundance. And that was from 5:4. In this manner, the miracle restores us to the state of completion and abundance that we never truly left, except in mocking dreams of separation, loss, and lack, from which we now happily awaken to our natural state of wholeness and abundance. Finally, to reiterate what has already been said, this early chapter, despite its awkwardness in phrasing, contains the seeds of what will later be expressed in great detail. The overriding theme of this chapter, as it is of the symphony, that is the text, is that the miracle heals, corrects, and undoes the separation because it does not acknowledge differences. All problems are the same because the only problem is that we continually relive the original instant when we chose the ego instead of the Holy Spirit. At any given instant, however, we can correct our mistake and remember who we are. This can occur only in the mind, wherein dwells God's one Son, and not in the body, the home of the ego's thought system of separation, differences, and judgment. And that is the conclusion of Ken Wapnick's commentary on Chapter 1 in A Course in Miracles text. And we are reading the journey through the text, chapters 1 through 8, Volume 1, a 4-volume set by the Foundation for A Course in Miracles by Ken Wapnick, Ph.D. And tomorrow we will start Chapter 2. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining with me. I love you. See you then.